Hey homies, I'm really excited to do this series for you. This is a series that I've been preparing for a while. We're going to be playing Wild True Learn. It's a fantastic game by Ludin.io. Join their Discord, join their YouTube. They're amazing. The game involves machine learning and learning about how to become a machine learning engineer from a perspective of kind of a machine learning engineer simulator. In order to get the most out of this game, we're going to be going through the game and then implementing everything that we learned in the visual programming style of the game in actual Python afterwards. So here's the first bit of that. Please enjoy. Timestamps are down in the description if you'd like to skip ahead at any point. Sweet. So, this is going to be the thing where I stream every single new thing that we do in this game. You can see I've already done a couple of these, but I'm just going to do a new one. We're going to start at the tutorial. So, okay, to become a programmer, you must master your art of turning the computer on. Press and hold the flashing triangle, so we attach the power to the computer. Cool, and then you can see this game is going to have me clicking and dragging between triangles quite a lot. The power is going to the keyboard and the computer. So this same sort of schema is going to be playing out throughout the whole game. That will kind of allow us to learn more about what machine learning is, how it works, why it does the things that it does. We get a bug, aren't sure what to do. So we go and fill up our coffee. Cat comes, cat fixes the bug. Successful build. And next, we ask the cat, hey, what did you do? Did you do that? Holy zeros, if only I could understand what this cat has to say. I guess we'll have to find out a way to recognize your speech. So we're going to do a cat speech recognition algorithm. We're going to Google it on Cat Overflow. Easy peasy. So nickname, ML Learner. I'm going to do a undercase opens and lowercase opens. Okay. How to recognize animal speech. Hey everyone, can you believe my cat? That little devil has debugged my code. Again, he definitely has something to say, so I decided to make some sort of system algorithm which would help me understand him. Give me advice, wish me luck maybe. P.S. I'm not insane. I'm tested. So we're going to refresh with F5. Don't rush ahead of yourself. Making a device that would be able to detect the cat would be a nice start. You can work with video, sounds, etc. when the time is right. Hey, a couple of days ago I've been reading about how expert system can be applied for detecting animals and writing chatbots. Newspaper was called Deep News. I'll be sending you my copies once I'm done with them. So people on Cat Overflow are really nice. So we can see here we have this algorithm, this expert system that we can then drag into our main window, and then we drag our input, connect it to the expert system, and then we connect the expert system with our outputs. Then we click test run to see if it works. And it automatically saves it for us in our GitHub and just tests to see how things run. This is really easy. We're just dividing between red and blue squares using one expert system. And the point of this, I hope that we come to this at some point, but the point of what I'm going to be doing here is more than just showing you how to go through this game. I'm going to build several of these systems for you, several of the more complex ones, so that we can go through like how to actually do the machine learning that we learn about in the game. That's actually the point of the game. Ludin.io is a fantastic company. They've helped me as an educator, and they've helped me as a gamer and a professional to really upgrade my skill set. So, okay. Hey, again, I've tried that expert system and it hardly makes any sense. Squares are floating from left to right. Is that what all the fuss is? Is that what the fuss is all about, machine learning? Are you guys actually working there? This is called visual programming. I was going to say something about this, but I'm glad that they did. My fellow dude, yes, this is how it's supposed to work. The expert system analyzes your data input from the camera and checks if there's a cat on them. No, it's not what machine learning is all about, but it will get hardcore soon enough. Well, I'm not very good at it yet, apparently. When do I actually start building a cat translator? Don't rush it, friend. You gotta master your machine learning ninja skills first. I'm working as a freelancer and the amount of contracts is crazy. I'll forward you some jobs I don't have time for. It will help you get on your feet and earn some cat bucks as well. Check your mail now. You're still paying for the servers though. Hey, ML Learner, so that's us. Noob advice. There's an auto help for each new technology. Very convenient. I've turned it on for you now. No need to thank me, but you probably want to change your password. My cat talks 123 is pretty obvious. Nice. From Dr. Coder. Turns out people on Cat Overflow seem to be much nicer than people on Stack Overflow. Hey, thanks, Emperor22 in the chat saying good luck to me. Okay, behold the task tree. This is a map of your progression in the game. So all this really does is tells us what we're doing, where we're going next. And you can see this is kind of like a work simulator for a freelance machine learning worker. So we get an email in our task tree, we click on it, and then we get to choose how to go forward with whatever's happening. So looks like a Spanish school is asking us if we could process the results, so process the grades, and then predict which of the students will be able to enter MIT. Oh, and we get new colors. Isn't that cool? So we have green and we have blue. Green is going to be passing, blue is going to be failing. That's how we're going to predict on this one. So we'll drag our export system out, we'll change this to green, and then when we connect everything up, let's also change this to, change it to 3 times speed. That way we can save ourselves some time going through these earlier levels. I hope that this makes sense the way that we're going so far. Basically, the process, and this mirrors a real world process. We get a job asking us to do something. We as a machine learning expert have to first figure out what our system is going to be. So in this case, it's a classification system between passing and failing. Then we have to model it, we have to test that model and build it, and then we're able to actually release it. So, Spanish school again, we have some errors in our questionnaire data. Can't solve the problems by ourselves. Can you please fix it? You can see this is actually similar to some emails that I've gotten before, where there's not a whole lot of actual information provided in the email as you go into it. But we can learn to basically analyze things ourselves and determine what's going to be the best way to do things. Oh, this is fantastic. So in the game, we have this little trash can to delete things. In real world data sets, real data has lots of errors, super true. Filtering out errors is an important skill for data scientists. Those errors can be like outliers, those errors can be too much data in one spot, those errors can be too little data in another spot, those errors can be nans, so like absolutely no data in certain things, or not having all of your columns filled out in an Excel sheet or a CSV or something like that. I would encourage anyone who's interested in this type of a thing to actually look at the article and join the Discord. They're, again, really, really great community. So, okay, let's try this out. We have red, green, and blue. We want red and green, but not blue. So why don't we change this to blue? There, and filter red and green into our output stream. Let's test run that. See how long it takes, see if we get a gold star. This should work really nicely. Perfect. And you can see we got our reward of 550 CAT dollars and the CAT cloud processing. So the time it took to test and then release that algorithm cost us money because it took 28 seconds to run. And so we only get this amount from it. Okay, Spanish School has more errors. Please update the program. It'll be easier if you use a previous version of the code. So it's going to teach us how to kind of cut and paste the previous version that we put in and then modify it a little bit. So, okay, non-neural artificial intelligence. Mankind has always been trying to create an artificial intelligence. Before the invention of neural networks, people used expert systems. An expert system is a deterministic algorithm which reproduces decisions of a real person. An example, this is Eliza. So here's an example. Eliza is a bot, the very first chatbot in the whole world from 1966, and it talked with patients using questions similar to real psychotherapists. It worked horribly. Largely that was because it was rule-based. We'll get into more of that later. Custom nodes. Oh, so this is where it saves the ones that we've done before. So you may recognize this from the very first one, the red else divide. You can see green blue divide without blue. So this is the same schema as we had before where it went into our expert systems. We filtered out blue and gave it red and green. So this is red else divide. I'll have to figure out which one is red. We can probably assume it's going to be the top one. If I remember right. But even if we're wrong, it's just a test run. I'm going to teach you how to do an expert system in Python for the While True Learn game. I promised that I would implement each problem as we were going through it, and we had a lot of problems with expert systems right there in the beginning. So here I am in Visual Studio Code. You're going to need Python for this. Anything higher than 3.5 works. I'm personally in 3.8.6. 3.7 should work fine. Same with 3.6. 3.5 might even work just fine. I haven't tested all of those. So if you want to do the exact same as me, it's 3.8. But I have tested this in 3.7, so it works there too. Let's just call this expert system.py. Cool. So for this, you're going to need a special library, special framework called Expert A. That's not what we want. We want command. So I'm just going to do Windows R, do the CMD. Here we're going to pip install Expert A. You'll see I already have it installed. The requirement's already satisfied for me. For you, it will be new. So let's just do the whole thing. So to begin, let's import Expert A. Perfect. And so we're going to essentially need two classes here. We're going to need one class that declares our information, sort of like a data loader if you have machine learning experience, and then we need a second class that decides based on that information what's happening. So class info, we'll have this inherit from, actually, from expert A import star. This will make it run a little bit nicer. Well, it doesn't make it run nicer. It just helps us clean up our code nicer. Anyway, so from expert A, import star, we'll make an info class. This info class is just going to be info about and pass. We don't need anything other than that. And then we'll make our second class, which is action. And this will inherit from knowledge engine, which is in the expert A package. We're going to make essentially rules for what to do if certain things get passed in. This is exactly the same as what we did in the While True Learn game. If you remember right, in While True Learn, we have red, green, and blue. So we're going to have 3 rules. We're going to make decorators for this. Rule is going to be info color equals red. And then we're going to have a function which is red color. This is going to take the class, like what gets inputted into the class when it gets instantiated as its argument, and we're going to print. So if you got a red, we're going to say green is good, and it means you're good enough to go to MIT. We're going back to, in While True Learn, we solved the problem of expert systems for a school system for their final tests. We're going to assume that red means score above 60%. So if you got a red, so you got a non-passing score, we're going to say neither passed nor good enough for MIT. Too bad, sorry. We will then copy this rule set for exactly the other two rules that we made. We want one for green and one for blue. So green, and I selected green. I'll this be green color. And if you got a green, that means that you passed. Going to MIT, congratulations. If you got blue, we're going to print passed, but not quite good enough for MIT. Go to Cornell instead. Cool. And this is the basis of what we're doing here. This contains everything that we need. We're going to play around with it a little bit. So basically, to keep this simple, we'll just keep it in here, and we're not going to worry about if name equals main, etc. In a real world system, you're going to do something more than that. We'll do from random input choice. Great. Oh yeah, because we have a whole bunch of unused imports. What I'm going to say back knowledge engine. Is that enough? So we are going to instantiate our engine. Our engine equals reaction. Perfect. Engine set. And then let's instantiate our data set equals, let's say there are 100 of these, just 100 different examples. And if you want to get more complex, you can sort those examples. Like normally what would happen in the real world is you would get a CSV of data that you'd be pulling from. So you would use pandas to pull from the CSV and make sure that you're sorting correctly. Then it's essentially this exact same thing if you're using an expert system. I don't know why you would use an expert system in 2020, but it's helpful to at least know that you can. Okay, so then we're gonna do for I range and set. I don't need the length on there, do I? I in data set, we're gonna engine dot and it'll be info. And within info, we're going to have color, and color is going to equal a random choice between either green, red, it's all wrong, but whatever, green, blue, or red. That works. So we're going to declare each one, and then we're going to engine run each one. All right, let's save this and let's run it. Hey, so I hope you enjoyed learning how to make an expert system. We're going to learn how to build decision trees next week, so tune in. Again, links are all in the description. I'm going to keep the code there as well. Thanks a lot, homies. Have a great day.